Good evening, everyone. My name is Dwayne Kimball, owner and founder of KMD89, VA Claims Consulting, Leave No Vet Behind. And also, I am a United States Army veteran. Tonight, I'm going live with you. I'm going to be talking about some inconsistencies that I've noticed within the VA disability compensation claims process, mainly being with the DBQs. Okay. So I got some topics that I want to talk about. And also, I'm going to take some questions throughout. So just bear with me as we get into the different topics. But before I get started, I wanted to share or thank a few people for giving me a super chat on some of, excuse me, it's hot in here, on some of my previous live streams. I'd like to say thank you to Miss Richardson, Richardson, I'm sorry, Mr. McWilliams, Mr. Jordan, Rabbit Squirrel Garage. And these are from all previous YouTube live streams. I just want to make sure I give a shout out. They gave me some super chat and stickers. Mr. Jordan, Mr. Bernard Brook, user Mo1 AP, Mr. Jordan again, Chad Fitcher, Don Freed, Mr. Jordan again, Miss Richardson, Mr. Jordan again, Paratrooper Girl, High Desert Dave, Mr. Jordan again, Mr. Williams, Wilson, I'm sorry, and Veterans Disability Claims. I definitely appreciate your support. Mr. Williams, Mr. Wilson, B. Wilson, B. Wilson. Okay. So I just want to give a quick thank you and a shout out for those super stickers. So before we go any further, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button. For a lot of you that already are subscribers, you got notified of this YouTube live that I'm doing tonight. So I'm going to be looking on a separate screen from here, and I'm probably need my glasses for a little bit of it. But make sure, again, you like, subscribe, hit the notification button. And also, we are doing, myself and my team, we're going to be doing a live event. Okay. And this is going to be a 3-hour event. It's going to be live. It's going to be in Tampa, Florida. So if you're not here, sorry, you will miss this event. But if you are located in the Tampa, Florida area or surrounding area, Lakeland, St. Pete, Bradenton, Sarasota, whatever, we're having an event. It's going to be a 3-hour event. It's going to be how to be successful during the VA disability compensation claims process. It's going to be August 21st from 9 a.m. to noon. That's on a Saturday. And also, I know we're going to go over, so I left that hour, noon to 1, for a Q&A session. But I will be taking questions. It's going to be live, so you'll see me in person to be at the ACC Dale Mabry campus. We're going to start advertising this event noon next Monday. So definitely go out to our website. And also in some of my next videos, I'll link it in the description section of all my upcoming videos. And then I'm going to go live again the Wednesday before the event. So hopefully there's still seats available. We're going to narrow it to about maybe 25 or 30 people. We're going to keep it small. It is in a classroom setting. We're going to have some refreshments there as well. So again, if you're in the Tampa, Florida area, love to see you come out. And guess what? The event is free. This event is free. We're going to be talking about everything from the importance of the intent to file, 5 ways of service connection. We're going to spend a little bit of time on that because a lot of veterans, they still miss that piece of it. Okay, the 5 ways of service connection. We're going to be talking about PTSD, stressors, combat, non-combat, what a diagnostic code, what does a rating code sheet look like. We're going to talk about Nexus statements as well. I'm going to give a quiz, and then I'm going to share my tips to my VA claims success. So definitely, if you're in the Tampa area or you know someone that lives in the Tampa area, please pass this on. Okay. So without further ado, I'll put that information down at the bottom there so you can see it. All right. So what you want to do is, again, in the description section of the video, you want to go and look at that link, and it'll take you to the event page, and then you can sign up. Okay. So we're going to get in tonight. We got, I'm getting some text here. Some people still trying to get in the event. One of my best friends trying to get in. And he's texting me, asking me where's the link? So again, all my links are in the description section. And this is a guy I've been knowing since the first day of kindergarten. He can't get in the event, right? Look in the box below. So I'm taking the time to text him. So when he sees this video, he knows I'm talking about him. But again, so tonight I want to get into a little bit about some discrepancies that I've been seeing within the VA. Okay. And I'm going to talk about the DBQs last. So also, just as a quick disclaimer, this video is just for educational and informational purposes only. You still need to go out and do your due diligence and looking at 38 CFR and M21 and see what fits for your claim. So this is just barely my opinion. What I've been seeing, every claim is different. It may not even pertain to your claim, or it may pertain to somebody that you know, or you could have fell into this particular situation. Okay. So with that being said, the first topic we're going to talk about, a question I've been getting here lately is veterans will call and they'll say, do I need a VSO or a lawyer to work my claim? And I never tell anybody they shouldn't have a VSO, or they should, or they shouldn't have a lawyer, or they shouldn't. Okay. I had a VSO. I share in some of my previous videos why I had a VSO. I could not look at my claim. Okay. I could not look at it. So I had to have, it was an individual in the regional office when I was working for the VA. They had access. And every time I went to his desk or I sent him an email saying, hey, I need to check this, or can I, we could only see it. We couldn't type anything. And it just seemed like it was a real problem for him, So the next best thing for me was, okay, I was like, I'll get a VSO for the sole purpose to have, I could go to somebody and look at my claim. That was the only reason why. I think they filled out one claim for me. The remainder of the time I did it myself. I didn't even get them involved. I filled out the paperwork and sent it in myself. But again, each his own. Here at Camp Day 89, we don't tell veterans they should or they shouldn't. That would be up to you. Again, my personal preference, if I had to do it again, I probably would still have one. But the only reason why I would have one is because I wouldn't be able to see my claims folder. So if I needed to find out what a doctor said on a particular exam, because those CDs for a copy of your claims file, they take a while to get. Okay. So if I had to do it over again, I would just have them there just to, go in and look at the exam and tell me what they see, or if they were, I saw them in person, then they could tell me in person. Okay. So we do get a lot of those questions. Veterans not requesting copy of the VA claims folder. I don't get it. I'm still talking to a lot of veterans. I talked to some veterans that say, yep, hey, I saw your video, I took your challenge, and I requested my claims file. But a lot of veterans, they'll call me and they'll say, hey, well, this happened, this happened, this happened. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, where did you see that at? Well, I went in E-Benefits and it said this, so I just figured X, Y, and Z. And wrong answer. So when you ask, when you think about it, you have to get a copy of that claims folder. You have to. I don't see how you can explain anything to anybody about your claim without having that evidence in front of you. I shared my VA claims folder sitting right over there on the shelf, and I have my CD in. I have my CD in my safe. Okay, so when I'm talking to veterans, they're like, "Well, I want to do this, I want to do that. Do you have a copy of your claims folder?" No. So how can you do anything? And that's just me. I pose that question to everyone out there. how can you do anything without your claims folder? You probably can have some success, but to maximize that success, how do you do it without having a copy of that claims folder, especially when you get denied? Okay, so some of these inconsistencies that I'm going to talk about a little bit later is, you know, one of the reasons is you can't reasonably articulate what's in your claims file if you don't have it. Okay, you're not going to know what they're putting in that rating decision. What did they look at? What did that doctor say? Without that, okay. Let's see. I'm gonna see what we got in here. Mr. Smith, how you doing? Lil Rock 2517, go mob. And the friend that I'm talking about, he's frat as well, and he can't get in. Anyway, Knowles 48, how you doing? Mr. McMillan, John Nurse Sr., L. Jeffrey, I see you. Hey, I'll be in STL tomorrow. I hear it's hot up there. Mr. Thompson, you're welcome. I love doing these live streams. DJ's not on tonight. Didn't want him to come on and take away from his family, so give him a little bit of quality time with his family. Tyron sound is good. 5x5. Individual needs. Lil Rock, yeah. So if he gets in here, Lil Rock, I'm gonna point him out because he's frat as well. But yeah, thank you all for chiming in. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get the likes up in here. All right. So talked about veterans not requesting a copy of the claims file. Now, another issue that I'm seeing is veterans selecting the FDC claim box on the VA form 21-526EZ means you are good to go and don't have to do anything else. Or if you submit a Nexus statement and select an FDC claim, that's incorrect. So a lot of veterans, they put a lot into when they check. They say, "Oh, I filed an FDC claim," and then I ask them. I say, "So what's the difference between an FDC claim and a standard claim?" And they can't tell me. I did a video on it. I took screenshots of the form in the instruction box. I think it's on page 2 and 3 of the 526CZ, because the actual 526CZ, the claim form itself, if I'm not mistaken, is pages 8 through 12. Okay. So it just, it amazes me. You have to look at those instructions because there's a lot of information there. So FDC claim, the difference between that and a standard claim, an FDC claim simply means that you're telling the VA you have no evidence to submit. Go ahead and rate with the evidence of record. That's it. That doesn't mean, I'm claiming service connection for my back because I was treated in service for my back. I have a back Nexus statement without a DBQ, but I checked that FDC box. No, that's not what that means. And as a gentleman said last month, your claim is going to be a hot mess. Okay. So go back and look at that video. FDC, I think I called it FDC versus standard claim. Okay. So a standard claim, you're telling the VA, hey, pump the brakes, time out. I still have evidence to submit. Claim going to be on hold for 30 days. They're going to give you time to submit that additional evidence. They could go up to a year. I doubt if they do and not do anything with the claim. I doubt it. But that's the information in the instruction sections between, I think it's page 1 to 4 or something like that. But the first 7 pages are instructions. So go back and look at that video, or just print out all 12 pages of the 526CZ and look at the first 7 pages, and that information will be in there that I shared in the video. Okay. Or the video may, you may get through it a lot faster. Okay. Veterans submitting incomplete DBQs in Nexus statement. Why do veterans do this? I did a video where I was talking about, can you refuse a CMP exam? Someone came on, I think they were a VA employee, maybe a VSR or RVSR, and they tried to slam me really hard. And I'm not going to say the name, but they said I was compounding to the issue by telling veterans not to go to their CMP exam. And that's not what I was saying in the video. What I was saying in the video, as I said in other videos, in my particular case, I was claiming an increase for a particular service-connected condition. I went to my private physician because I was like, I'm never going back to a VA CMP exam just because, some of the inconsistencies. You get a copy of the exam and you look at it and you're like, well, I didn't tell the doctor that. Where did they get that from? But once they write it on there, it's a record. All right. So I told them, they said that the only people that know if a DBQ or Nexus statement is actionable or sufficient are raters. Well, guess what I used to do? That's what I used to do before I retired from the VA. Okay. And now I educate veterans on the claims process. So I've looked at hundreds of DBQs and Nexus statements and used them when I was completing rating decisions. Okay. So I wasn't saying not to go. I was merely expressing my experience, which was I refused the exam. And then I talked about asking the question, can you refuse it? And there's an M21 reference manual that states if your private doctor completes a DBQ and it's certain, they look at certain information to complete that DBQ, it could be done by video. That was a change date in March 1st, 2021. Okay. And as long as it's actionable and sufficient, but veterans are still getting DBQs completed that are not actionable and sufficient. We give classes on it every month. And when we review DBQs for individuals that did have their private physician, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, man, it is a lot of information missing. Okay. So you have to be educated, and it's up to you if you want to go to the exam. I've seen veterans have a DBQ that's actionable and sufficient, like myself. But I didn't go to the exam. I've seen veterans go to the exam and they said, well, they denied my increase, but my DBQ, it shows that should be increased. Well, by going to that exam to a doctor that never treated you before, you just gave them ammunition to use against you. So at the end of the day, it is your choice if you want to go or not. Okay. But I elected not to go, but I made sure that my DBQ was sufficient. The first draft I got back from my doctor, I'm like, hey, this is missing. This is missing. I need it updated. And he's like, okay, yep, not a problem. I have my system bring it to me and update it. Okay. But you got to know if it's actionable or sufficient. Just because a mental health professional or a medical doctor completed means it's correct. It could be missing one little thing. Okay. And that one little thing that's missing, they're going to schedule you for a CMP exam. But before I go any further, that's one of the inconsistencies that I want to talk about. Okay. So we got about 45 more minutes. I'm not going to stay on here longer than an hour tonight. I know normally we go a little bit over, but I just want to make sure I get some questions answered for individuals. All right, we got Mr. Knowles. Do you have plans to come to the Dallas area? I am coming in September for a veteran event, but I will not be doing a presentation. EVMF, EVMIF, I believe they're giving an event. It's a weekend, so I will be there. I will have a booth set up. I don't know if it'll be open to the public, but Mr. Knows, if you have an organization that would like to sponsor the event that I'm doing here in Tampa, by all means, have them to reach out to me. Man, my focus, I can't believe I thought I had that already. Okay, there we go. If you know of a group that's willing to sponsor the event, let me know. Have them to contact me, and then we can work something out. Okay. It's that time. Greetings, Mr. Kimball. How you doing? It's that time. Where do I know that from? I seen that in an email. Mr. Moore, STL. Mr. Wilson, thanks for the videos. I got 100% TDIU with SMC1. My VSO is pushing me back off, pushing me to back off. My wife will get DIC after 10 years. AMD, AM static, and PTSD. Okay, with spouse education. Why quit? No, that would be up to you. One thing I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, you're 100%." permanent total, you're static, leave it alone, because if you go back in, they'll look at everything in your claim folder. That's a myth. That is absolutely a myth. Some claims folders could be, thousands of pages. They don't have the time to go all the way back and look at everything that you were service connected for and how they service connected. Now, they may go back to that previous rating decision, okay, to look at the rating code sheet to say, okay, is the veteran service connected for this? What percentage is, the effective date? It could be any number of reasons, okay? And they could see something. I did that one time. A veteran came back in, was claiming left knee, believe secondary to the right knee. And he had he was at 30%, because they gave him, back then, they were giving temporary 100% for 13 months for knee replacements. So he had surgery on his knee, but it wasn't a knee replacement. So I'm looking, he came in for the left knee, secondary to the right knee. And when you're doing joints like that, even though he wasn't claiming anything for the right, he was claiming the left. So you go to CMP exam, guess what? They have to do range of motion on both. Same with the elbows, shoulders, ankles, wrists, or whatever, okay, if it's a bilateral factor. So I went back, I saw on the exam, it asked the doctor, it's a section says knee replacements, left, no, right, no. And I'm like, wait a minute. He's service connected for a knee. He just had temporary 100% for the right knee replacement. What do you mean, no? And I could have kept going, but I went back to that previous code sheet. Guess what? He didn't have that knee replacement. I looked at the operative report, and it's like that little string on your sweater. Start tugging at it. And you keep tugging and keep tugging. Instead of cutting it, you just keep tugging. You find this stuff. Come to find out, he didn't have the surgery. So what that means is when when you have a knee replacement, they give you 100%, 13 months. And if you're at 10%, you get the 100%. And then after the 13 months at 100%, they drop you back down to 30%. Well, I had to go in and I had to sever that 30% and reduce him from 30 to 10 because he didn't meet diagnostic code 5055 for the knee replacement. Okay. So, but if he had never came back in, we would have never found it. That's just one instance. Now, I was 100% PNT and I went back in for a couple of claims and I wasn't increases in things. And I wasn't worried about them going back and looking at everything because I knew all my stuff was legit. Okay. And another myth out there, you have to keep getting continued treatment. It's conditions that I know that I have that's not going to get better. So am I going to keep running back to the VA, getting this medication, that medication, and possibly end up in the Betty Ford clinic? No. Okay. Some things that I know I can't do at the age 52 like I could do at 22. Okay. So I have to be careful in that instance. All right. Talked about, Nexus statements, again, along with the DBQs, veterans not knowing what goes into those. Okay. Let's see what questions we have here. Can I get a Nexus SAM? I don't know what that means. Can I get a Nexus SAM? Roger, Dwayne, I have a claim for sleep apnea. They scheduled me for a CMP exam with QTC. And on that day, they never call. What do you think is up? Might want to call QTC. And if they schedule you for a CMP exam, so I'm assuming it was done by video. This is Mr. Fuller. If it was done by video and they didn't show up, you might want to give them a call because they may tell the VA you didn't show up. Then look like you're a no-show. So they should have sent you a packet or something with a contact number. I would definitely get a hold of QTC. All right. And that's probably ASAP too, because if it was, let's just say it was last Monday, they probably already notified the VA that you didn't show up because they may try and pass that blame off on you. They messed up by not showing up for the exam. And then they say, oh, the veteran never showed, so you definitely want to get that checked out. So I'll throw some questions up here. I'm sorry. Got a Nexus from doctor for service connected but denied. Can I get a second Nexus letter for the same doctor for the same problem for a secondary? Okay, so this is one of the things. Veterans are getting these Nexus statements. What else do you need with that Nexus statement? A Nexus statement alone for a secondary condition is not going to cut it. Where's the DBQ? Okay, and why did they deny it? Did you go to the CMP exam? Did they use information to get you? Do you have a copy of that CMP exam? You requested a copy of your claims folder? Things like that. So you have to understand, when is a Nexus statement needed and when is it not needed? Okay, these are things that we talk about every month in our classes. Okay, whether you want to take the Nexus class or the DBQ class, or sign up for a live Q&A session or a private Q&A session, these are things that we talk about, people. So clarify, did you have a DBQ and did you go to the CMP exam? Okay, that's going to be key. AZ, I am at 90%. VA said my disabilities are static, but the code sheet VA sent me diabetes. Okay, I don't understand that, AZ. So if you can just give me clarification, okay? Jay Zondo, it's crazy how we get denied sometimes when all the medical evidence is there. I would say, you can get denied and everything is done the way that the VA wants you to do it, okay? The VA is not perfect. Those employees on the quota, they're rushing through these claims and some could have been missed. But do you know, Zondo, if the evidence that you submitted was what you needed? Okay. A lot of vets, they'll say, well, I'm filing an increase for this. First question I ask them, do you know? I ask them, what is the criteria for the increase? And they go in, I'm on medication. Nope, that's not the criteria for increase. If you don't know what the criteria is, do you know where to go find it? And they'll say no. In that rating decision that granted that benefit, they have to tell you the next higher evaluation. A lot of veterans don't even read it. They just look at that notification letter, see what percentage they get and how much money they get in a month, and that's it. They leave it alone. They don't even get to the rating decision to see why they didn't get that higher evaluation, but it's in there. What is the next higher? Or you can get a copy of disability breakdown letter. It'll have the diagnostic code on there, along if you have a copy of a claims file with the rating code sheet. Okay, again, hear me say those two words, claims folder. A lot of people don't want to get it, but you can call the 800 number and you can request a disability breakdown letter and get a disability breakdown letter, which will have the diagnostic code on there. And then you go to the rating schedule criteria and you look at that criteria that for the percentage your service connected at, and then you can see the next higher, and then you can ask yourself, do you want an increase? Okay, that'll save you a lot of headache. Okay. Let's see who we got here. Mr. Marrez, how much information do you provide in the QTC questionnaires they send for CMP exam? Will they send this to the rater? Thank you. My exams, all my CMP exams were before QTC, LHI, but I was talking to a previous client and he went through QTC up in, I think, the DC area. And one thing that he told me, that the question here, when he looked at it and he looked at that diagnostic code for the condition that he was claiming, then in that questionnaire, the criteria, he put the percentage criteria in that questionnaire. So I don't know what those questionnaires look like, but again, that's why that's why you have to be educated, because you'll see those questionnaires and then the questions that they answer. So if you feel you're 30% for something, then I would assume you can put that information in that questionnaire. Okay. Again, I've heard a couple of people do that, and I'm like, did you keep a copy of that questionnaire? So to answer your question, does the rater see it? I don't know. Like I said, I never seen one of those questionnaires. I think it's more so for the QTC to gather information to complete the DBQ, but I could be wrong. Okay. I don't know. I've been out of rating for a couple of years, so I don't know if they send that information back to the VA as well. But if they did, I would make sure if I'm claiming migraines and I feel I'm should be 50% for migraines, they send me one of those questionnaires. Guess what? I'm putting that criteria in that 50% criteria from the rating schedule in that questionnaire. Okay. Just in case they do. All right. Let's see. Oh, let me go back up here. Sorry. All right. Mr. Thompson. He says TDIU form 21-8940 when employees are asked how many days employee missed due to this disability. Does this work against the veteran if employee does not know and enters none for number of days missed? No, I don't think so. It's more so you want to look at they're looking at the doctor. The doctor is going to say, the doctor's not going to say, no, you can't work. What they're supposed to say is, do your service connected conditions prevent you from not prevent you from gainful employment, but obtaining gainful employment or sedentary employment. So it's more of a big picture, if you will. They're looking at, the rater is going to be looking at your education level. So say, for instance, you've been a bricklayer all your life. You got a GED, you dropped out of high school, got a GED, and you've been a bricklayer, you worked at a gas station, and you hurt yourself. Okay, and you can't go back to work. You can't lay bricks, and that's all you know. Been working at a gas station, that's all you know. You don't have any higher education, opposed to someone, let's say, has a PhD, and they hurt their back. Well, they probably can still go get another job teaching, okay, at home, sitting in a chair, online teaching or something like that, or some type of sedentary employment. So there's a lot of things that are looked at when it comes to IU, not just what the number of days that you miss. Could some raters take that into consideration? Yes. Okay. But it could get to the point I've seen like truck drivers. They have lower back condition, they service connected for the sciatic nerve secondary to the back strain, and they can't drive trucks because of the pain in their legs. Okay. But they possibly could do something else, work as a dispatcher or something. I don't know. But all the evidence is supposed to be looked at. Okay. I have one last claim left open. I had 2 VBA in-person exams and 2 more VBA IMOs. I do not like that word IMOs, but we'll roll with it. Independent medical opinion exams without me. Why would they do 4 exams? I can't answer that question. I'm not looking at any information in your claims file. Maybe there was some evidence left out on a previous exam that I don't know. Only person we know is the person that requested the exam. And there's a thing, I don't know if it's still called 2507 request or just a medical request. Okay. And when you get a copy of that CD, guess what's going to be in there? That medical request. So in this case, if you had a copy of that, then you could see exactly why they requested that exam or medical opinion, because they have to state why they are requesting the exam. Okay. So that's another reason why it's important to have a copy of that exam. So if they, denied you, hypothetically denied you, and you want to go back in, at least you know what was going on with your claim before, you resubmit a claim. Okay, I am at 90%. VA said my disability is static, but the code sheet VA emailed me doesn't show that. Is there a separate code sheet that shows static or non-static? No, it should be on there. I don't have, mine is over there. I don't have a rating code sheet out, but it should say, I think it's under all the percentages on the rating code sheet. Okay. I'm gonna take one more question, then I'm gonna get into this inconsistencies that I've been seeing. Okay, Mr. Zondo, Dwayne, I'm service connected for lymphoma, left lateral chest wall. Do you know what rating that falls under, as well as the DBQ for it? Okay. It's some things that I automatically know and some things that I don't. A lot of people ask me questions about their personal claim. I don't mind. But again, this is why it's important to have a copy of your claims folder, because this is why the lymphoma, which I could guess what diagnostic code the rater used, but it could be the wrong code. But if you have a copy of that disability breakdown letter and all my description section of all my videos this year, and I believe latter part of last year, I put in the description section how you obtain a copy, how I obtain a copy of my disability breakdown letter to include the diagnostic codes. Call the 800 number. It's in the description section. I even showed a video of how you get to the description section by clicking the show more button. And then someone said, oh, well, you can't get to it on your mobile phone. Yes, you can. So I got my mobile phone, took a screenshot, and in the next video, I showed how you get to the description section. So when I say the description section, we as veterans, we have to open that up and we have to read. Okay. So, Mrs. Zondo, I would say, you have to get a copy of your disability breakdown letter to include the diagnostic codes, figure out which diagnostic code the rater used, and then you can Google it, whatever diagnostic code it is, or go to, 38 CFR, and you can find it from there, and you can see all the different criteria. The DBQ, I would have to look on the, I would have to see I know which DBQ, but I'll have to see the diagnostic code to make sure it's the right one. Okay. I don't know it right off the top of my head. All right. So before I take on any more questions, I'm going to get into the main part of this video tonight. Some discrepancies that I've been seeing. Either I've learned about them talking with veterans, but more so, a lot of our clients, okay, are running into some of these inconsistencies. All right. So, and it pertains to the DBQs. And I talked about it a little bit earlier. Take that down. I talked about a little bit earlier. The DBQs came back. Okay. First of all, March 1st, 2021. Going to the M21, did a video, I think March 7th. So if you go to my YouTube channel, it was either March 3rd or March 7th, something like that. And I showed the M21 verbiage under the old M21, where it states that the VA will not use a DBQ from a private physician if it was done by video. This new M21 change date, March 1st, 2021, it doesn't have that verbiage. So in the video, I showed the old and I showed the new. And this is the reason. Also in the video, before then, I stated that I didn't feel that the DBQs were going to come back. But if they did, it's going to be something. It's going to be something. That something is these inconsistencies, okay? So a lot of veterans and some of my clients that are filling out DBQs, they educated on making sure the DBQ is completed correctly, and they're submitting the DBQs. And this is what's happening. You have some VSRs requesting a CMP exam when they don't have to. They request the exam, the veteran goes to that exam. Like I said earlier, now you're giving them ammunition to use against you, okay? If your DBQ is actionable and sufficient, and if you need a Nexus statement. I'm seeing some clients and veterans, they're submitting actionable and sufficient DBQs, and the veterans is sending the rater grants it, and that's it, okay? But the biggest thing is this that I've been seeing lately. Everyone that recently I've talked to submitted an actionable and sufficient DBQ and or Nexus statement. The VA is scheduling an exam. So like I said earlier, someone said, hey, I was compounding to the problem, and I threw it back on them and asked them, well, why are VSRs and RVSRs scheduling exams when they don't have to? And they couldn't answer that question, okay? So the things that we're seeing, you have some regional offices, they're doing it the right way. When a DBQ is received and is actionable and sufficient, they're sending it to the rating activity raters to go ahead and rate and grant the benefit or the increase or whatever, okay? Some are not doing that. They're requesting an exam. They're not even looking to see or asking somebody, hey, is this correct? And then veterans have to go back and do a high-level review and say, hey, what's missing or what makes my DBQ not actionable or sufficient for rating purposes, and they get granted. Okay. So some regional officers are doing it the right way and some are not. But the veteran, you have to take some ownership as well. Because again, a lot of veterans are not educated on the VA claims process and don't know what a actionable and sufficient DBQ is. They don't even want to get educated. They just, oh, my doctor did it. I know it is good. Okay. If you know that it's good, what do you do when you get called for that exam? You're like, wait a minute, my DBQ is actionable and sufficient. You're going to be lost. Okay. So again, I shared with you guys and with the girls what I did. I'm not telling you not to go. I'm just telling you, one, you got to get educated. And then once you become educated and you know that DBQ is actionable and sufficient, which way are you going to go if you get that call? Okay. So I know a lot of people, they're going to ask me, why they're doing it. I don't know. But as veterans, you got to figure out, okay, I submit this DBQ, expect that to happen. If it doesn't, they grant the increase or they grant service connection. If you have a Nexus statement, then you're golden. But hypothetically, what if they do? What I've been seeing recently with veterans that I've been talking to on a weekly basis and some of our clients, okay? So as a client, we educate veterans on the claims process. We don't represent veterans before the VA. We don't give you advice. A lot of people say, what should I do? I'm not going to tell you what you should do because if something happens, you can say, oh, well, Dwayne said this and this. Nope, I'm not following in that rabbit hole. We only educate veterans. On our website, we have live testimonials from veterans that went through some of our educational services. You can Google our business. We got 60 plus 5-star Google reviews on our GMB account. So the education we provide, a lot of veterans are being successful. And also, we get feedback from a lot of you on YouTube. I just got a call, I think it was yesterday, from a gentleman from Las Vegas. And he said, hey, I subscribe to your YouTube channel. I've been watching all your videos and I'm 100% permanent total, static, house balance, some other stuff, So, the videos, it may or may not pertain to you. Like I say, every claim is different, but the inconsistencies that's been going on, you have to know what's going on with your claim and how the VA claims process can impact it. Okay. That is key. Our clients know what, if they have a DBQ, they know what an actionable and sufficient DBQ looks like. If they need a Nexus statement, our clients know what information needs to go into that Nexus statement. So if for whatever reason they have to do a high-level review, they know what's going on with their claim. They know the information that they submitted is correct because they've been educated. Okay. So I feel comfortable in our clients. They had to do a high-level review. They will be successful because our conversations that we have with them, the educational package or educational trainings that they may go through, we talk about these things extensively. Okay. And they get educated. And sometimes it takes others longer than others, but they get it. They get it. And so they know how to reasonably articulate their symptomology. And I'm taking that from DJ, all right, my counterpart. But they're able to reasonably articulate their symptomology when they get to that exam. A lot of veterans don't take the time to look at the diagnostic code criteria to see what's what. Okay, they just go in there and they're like, oh, this is going on. I'm taking this medication. This has been happening. And that's not even in the criteria for what they're claiming. Okay. So we're going to get to some more questions. Excuse me, I got to get a quick drink of water. For all of you, let me show you my tumbler. United States Army, go Army. And that was my rank when I got out. One of my clients' daughter, anchored by glitter. You can find her on Facebook. She did that for me. She did my wife a really cool one, Air Force one. Looks really nice. But it's on Facebook. Anchored by glitter is what it's called. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Where did I leave off? What does non-action contention mean? Mr. Davis, I have no clue. Don't know where you got it from. A lot of veterans, they will ask me, what does this mean? They got it from me. Or they don't tell me where they see it at or where document that is in. They'll say, well, I see it in e-benefits. VA employees do not get trained on e-benefits. Majority of them probably only go in there looking for stuff for their own claim. Okay. I didn't go into e-benefits even to submit a claim. Just recently, I think maybe like a year before I left the VA, I would go into e-benefits, but it was just going in, generating letters and stuff like that. And now it's just pretty much seeing what has changed. So a lot of people ask me, hey, what does this mean? What does that mean? I need to be looking at it. And I still may not be able to tell you because there's so many acronyms in the VA or terminology. So, that I don't know, Mr. Davis. So I do apologize. See you, Miss Breckenridge from Kansas City. I see you. All right. Let's see. Let's jump back up here. Richard, maybe you have already answered this, but if I'm at 100% PNT and try to open a claim for dental, am I open for a reduction in rating? Mr. Richard, go to the video that I did. That's another misconception that's floating out here on YouTube. I don't get it. It's going to depend on now. Yeah, it's going to depend. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but when you file a claim, they don't go back and look at that. That would take, how long that would take? Some veterans have, 2,000, 3,000 pieces of paper in their file. They don't have time to go back and look at everything to see if you were service connected for everything the way that you were supposed to. Like I said, they may go back to that last rating decision, just, may want to look at something to see if it's tied to something that you're claiming, especially if it's a bilateral factor. But for them to go through and look at everything else, and then you have to understand the protection rule. I did a video on that. Okay. Go spend time in the M21 protection rule. If everything that you are service connected for is under, let's say 5 years, you come in for something and they see something, then yeah, it could be a possible reduction. If those been in effect longer than 5 years, then it could be, if it shows improvement, then they need 2 exams, not 1. If it's 20 years, the VA made a mistake, then you're locked in, you're good, unless it's fraud. But again, that could have changed since my last video. So, you got to go and dig into that M21, look at protection rule. Okay. Mr. Tom say, hey, Sylvia. All right. I don't know how you pronounce it. Sure. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Requested claims, see file already. Is there a way to see if it's being done? When I requested mine, I saw a claim for 4 year. It had an e-benefits. It had a 4 year request, a Privacy Act request, and then they had it closed out. So that's the only place that I saw mine. I didn't even call the 800 number because that's somebody sitting in their, an office or a cubicle or office at home in Cleveland or Salt Lake City or Phoenix, and they're just saying, hey, we're still working on it. That's the only thing they can tell you. Okay. I submitted a fully developed claim and provided everything to the VA. Okay. AF1. When you say fully developed claim, what does that mean? When you check that FDC box, what were you expecting? That's the question. And provided everything to the VA. I do not request a CMP exam. If QTC calls me, do I need to inform them that I want the VA rate claim without an exam? That would be up to you. Again, we don't advise veterans what you should or shouldn't do. We educate veterans on the claims process so you may be able to maximize your particular benefits. And for those of you that have shown up a little bit late, I want to say again, we're doing a live event. My team and I, we're doing a live event next month, August 21st, 9 a.m. to noon in Tampa, Florida. It's going to be on ACC, Hillsborough County Community College campus, the Del Mabry campus. You can get to the event page. We're going to post the event next Monday around noon, and I'm going to be talking about it in more of my videos So definitely you can go to our Facebook veterans group. It's VA Disability Service Connection. You can go to our Facebook business page, KMD 89 VA Claims Consulting. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on LinkedIn, Twitter. We're going to be promoting it all over. If you go on LinkedIn, you can just type in my name, Dwayne Kimball, DEWAYNE, Kimball. You see it right there, Dwayne Kimball. And you can find me on LinkedIn, and we're going to be advertising that video. Not the video, but the live event on the 21st noon Monday. So it's going to be limited seating, probably about 25, 30 people. And I would say if you sign up, please show up, because then you're taking a seat away from another veteran. I know things come up. If you come up, you can't make it, an event is full, please let me know so I can open that seat up for another veteran. Okay. All right. We got about another 10 minutes. Yeah, almost 10 minutes. So I may not be able to get through all the questions, but I will. Chad Hawkins, hey, thank you for the donation. I really, really appreciate that. I'm gonna try to put that up there for other people to see it. If I can, I know I saw it somewhere. There we go. Let me see. Yep, there we go. Chad Hawkins. Thank you, Dwayne, for all your knowledge. I finally got the rating I was looking for. Finally, definitely, I use your great insight. Hey, man, I really appreciate it. Chad, he was actually, we don't live that far from each other. I actually come to find out, but he was a winner of our Kahoot quiz. He went through several our veteran town hall events. He supported us. So I'm glad that you were able to, finally get it. So, hey, congratulations. And again, thank you for that donation. We really, really, really appreciate it. Thanks again, Chad. So yeah, if I see you down there in Ruskin, hey, I was down in Ruskin the other day. I had to go to Harbor Freight. So yeah, I was just down there. That was yesterday. I was down at Harbor Freight down in Ruskin. I'm pretty sure you know where that's at. Okay. Let's see. Mr. B, VA doctor, wrote a letter stating you cannot work due to your condition. He wrote in 2002 and states the same for 2021. I'm not understanding that question, Mr. B. So please explain it. Question: can sleep apnea be connected to asthma, even though I was diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea first and then recently asthma? I didn't know I had asthma. What I've seen when that normally happens, doctors say that in this case, your sleep apnea predated your asthma diagnosis. But, I'm not looking at the claim. I'm not a medical doctor. You could have had it possibly before the asthma, before sleep apnea. You just didn't know it and you got diagnosed later. But more than likely, they're going to be looking at the dates that you were source connected. But I'm not saying not put in the claim. That would be up to you. But if you feel that it is, by all means, go for it. But don't be surprised if they say, oh, it was predated. Okay. Mr. Thompson says, has the free in-person training in Florida filled up yet? I want to try to get a spot. No, we haven't posted it yet. It will go up noon Monday. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And even more YouTube videos that I do, I'm going to be bringing it up. But for those of you, check out, I'm going to put, everybody should know our website, but I'll go ahead and I'll put it in the comment section for everybody. Okay. So you will have that. All right. Ray Bickham, Dwayne, I need your help. Do I just go to your website for the contact information? Yes. I just put the link to the website in the comment section. You can also find it in the description section. You go to our website, you can sign up for a free 15-minute consultation. And I'm going to try something here. I am going to try to share my screen. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay. So this is our website. Wow, cool. It's the first time I did this. So this is our website. This is the home page. Okay. Got about another 5 minutes. So I'm gonna spend some time here and take a couple questions and we're gonna call it a night. But this is our website. You can click here. I put the link in the comment section, and I'm going to do that again. Put it in there twice and keep putting it in there. All right, so I'm going to take that down. So this is our website here, okay? So here you can schedule a 15-minute consultation. This 15-minute consultation is not a how-to on your claim. It's for you to ask questions about the different educational services that we provide to see if what you're trying to do with your claim, it fits in one of our educational services, okay? Get people, and they say, oh, let me just give you a short story. I get it. You know, you want to share that. But it's more so if you're trying to do something, then you may need to take one of our classes or something like that, okay? So we'll just scroll through it here. There's my picture, my big head. I don't know why my head looks so big. I guess I just got a big head. A little bit about myself. We got the 1st Cav Soldiers, the last division I was in. I was in the 1st Cav station at Fort Hood. And here are some of the classes, okay? This is not the classes link, but these are some of my classes. And then you have our services here. Another link for a 15-minute consultation. You can subscribe to our newsletter. Newsletter comes out 2 or 3 times a month. We talk about different events. So if you signed up, you'll get notified of the event for August 21st that's coming up. And here's all our contact information, okay, to include disclaimer, terms and conditions, our hours, and stuff like that, okay? So even going back to the top, the different services we provide. Here are some of the services that we provide. Educational webinars, claim audit review. If you have a copy of your medical records from service, we'll review those. How to be successful on the VA disability claims process. That's one of our main classes. It's about 3 hours. That's the one that we're going to be doing on August 21st. Okay. Ready to get started with KMD, some of the documentation. All this can be found on our website. A lot of people call me and they'll ask me questions. And I'll say, hey, have you went to our website? Well, I signed up, but I hadn't really had a chance to go back and look at it. It's a lot of good information here. This is the link to sign up for our classes. It gives a brief description of the classes. Click this sign up button. It'll take you to our event landing page where you can fill out your information and sign up. Okay. The event for the 21st of next month will be here on Monday. Okay. Video testimonials. These are video testimonials from some of our previous clients that went through some of our educational services. We try to keep them about 10 or 15 minutes. Some went a little bit longer. But these are some of the veterans that were so kind to do a live testimonial and just share some of their feedback as it pertains to their VA claims experience and then their experience with KMD 89 Consulting as it pertained to the educational service that we provided for them. Okay. Then here, we do provide training. So if you have you're part of an organization and that you want, or your company, you want us to come out and do a 3-hour presentation, we're available to do that. You will come here. This downloads the training pitch deck to show the benefits of this training that you receive. Here are some of our partners that we work with: ACC InLab, Sunbelt Rentals, Operation Startup, which is here in the Tampa, Florida area, and then Vet Jobs. That's a nonprofit. And then I got a little short video of myself, and then some other things that we talk about, the benefits from that particular training. So it's a pretty straightforward website. You can get to our Facebook information here, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. And I haven't included the LinkedIn, but those will get updated real shortly. Okay. So we got about Oh, we're almost done, but I'm going to go ahead and take a couple more questions. Um, yeah, there you go. Ma, tell them, yeah, get the likes up. Make sure if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button so we can get more people on these live streams. When we finally get, more people, at least over 100, I'll be doing, more of these. Probably break them down to like maybe 30 minutes or something, and just hit a topic or just do a particular Q&A. Okay. Robert Ramirez scheduled for 2 routine future exams for the same condition, needs in 3-month period. The first one was done by VA, and the next one was done by. Do you have to do this? Did you have to do this as a rater? 2 exams. That was very seldom. I've heard of that happening before, but that normally doesn't. That's not the norm, especially on a routine future. For my routine, I didn't have a routine future, but it when you get the rating decision and in the narrative section of that rating decision at the bottom, if it reads, since there's a likelihood of improvement. I did a video on this last year about how to read a rating decision. I did it this year comparing a notification letter versus a rating decision, but last year it was just a rating decision, how to read it. And I talked about if you see something like, since there's a likelihood of improvement, that means you have a routine future. And the way you can get ahead of that, you can do a DBQ if you want from your private doctor. And you shouldn't have to run into this period, this situation that you did, Mr. Barreras. All right, Lil Rock. Yep, get these likes up. Get these likes up. Yeah, we still got a lot of questions. I know I'm not going to get through these. DK, I'm service connected for lumbar sacral injury, which worsened where I had surgery back in 2019. I just found out that I could file for convalescence, yet temporary. Paragraph 30, 21, you got 29, paragraph 29, paragraph 30 during my surgery. Do I need a CMP exam? They shouldn't, because if you you had surgery in 2019, it's been a while. Basically, if you file in paragraph 29 or 30, you're asking for, convalescence. I think I did a video on that last year. Paragraph 29, paragraph 30. Go back to that video, and I put the M21 in that criteria for both and the information that you need to go along with it. In this case, the operative report. Did you have to have physical therapy? Were you off work? What evidence do you have? So I talk about a lot of that in that video, but Mr. Nurse, go check out that video, and you're looking for paragraph 20, paragraph 30. That's the convalescence. Okay. One is if you spend 21 days or more in the hospital. Okay. Ray says, I just got denied on a claim. Third-party examiner got it all wrong. Hey, man, I really hate to hear that, but it's coming almost like common practice. Another reason why we as veterans have to get educated on this system to make sure that we got all the I's dotted and all the T's crossed. So just to wrap up, Chad said, yeah, right down the street. Yeah, I was just over there. I hadn't been down there in a while. But I'm going to put the link to the website, our website, it's in there 3 times, so hopefully people can see it. But just a quick recap, the inconsistencies. If you're doing a DBQ, get educated. We give a class. I just showed you the classes on our website. Get educated on what makes a DBQ sufficient. Okay. What information goes into a Nexus statement. I made sure my claim was buttoned up before I even submitted to the VA. And I anticipated them scheduling an exam. And somebody else I know that worked at the VA did the same, submitted a DBQ for increase. They got a rating decision, and they scheduled me for an exam, and it was handled at the same regional office. So not only are some regional offices have inconsistencies amongst the VSRs, but across the board at regional offices, some are doing it the right way when vets submit DBQs that are actionable and sufficient, and then some are not. Why? I don't know. If you're a VSR and you jump on here, maybe they can answer that question. Okay. Mr. Jeffrey says, congrats, Mr. Hawkins. So, hey, everybody, give a shout out for Mr. Hawkins for reaching that milestone. Definitely glad that you were able to do that. It's that time. Where do I know that name from? That's in the email. It's that time. It's that time. Watch the video for ordering claims file. Any suggestions on getting to expedite the request? They sent me a letter saying they have my request. I did a video, I think it's December 27th, and I talked about, can you file a complaint or inquiry? And in the comments, a veteran stated they watched that video, they filed a complaint, and 2 weeks later, they got a copy of their claims file. Okay, so go back and check that. Don't remember. I think that was just all that they stated, but I had some issues with getting mine. They closed out the request on e-benefits, and then I filed a complaint, and I ended up getting it the same day, but that was for the initial request. But from the complaint, 2 weeks later, I got a second CD. Okay. All right, there we go. Asher Levins. Hey, I appreciate it. I believe Mr. Asher, are you in ATL? I think we're on LinkedIn, if I'm not mistaken. But hey, thanks for the super sticker. Hey, thanks again. We really appreciate the donations. We're looking to adopt a couple of schools here, one in St. Pete and one in Tampa, and we're going to be starting an annual scholarship fund for both high schools, each one a $500 scholarship or something like that. So your donations, these are some of the things that is going to be going to. We're going to be doing school drives coming up here. I know it's kind of too late this year to get one started, but we're going to, if the school needs, us to come in and paint the gymnasium or something like that, a career day, we're going to start getting involved in the community. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Mr. Nurse. Mr. Asher, there you go. Thanks again. Last question, everyone. Mr. Williams, I got hurt in a car accident in 2010. Were you on active duty? And was medically retired in 2013. So I asked my own question. You were on active duty. The VA continues to deny me for my TBI claim and elbow issues. They would have to back pay from 2013. Again, that's one of those questions that the years are so far apart. One is the MVA notated in your service treatment records. Two, do you have a copy of your claims folder, which shows your STRs? Two, is the MVA accident in there? Does it show you had a head injury? Did you get a CMP exam? If you got a CMP exam, do you have a copy of your claims folder with the CMP exam? If you did get a CMP exam, the doctor gave you a negative opinion. Why did the doctor say that one, do you have a TBI diagnosis? And two, if you do, why was there a negative opinion? If you don't have a diagnosis, what was the negative opinion? What was the rationale? Okay, so those are questions that I would have to ask you, because one would have to be looking at that information in your claims folder. Okay. Yeah, you say, okay, in ATL, I enjoy sharing your content. Hey, I appreciate it. So I think we're on LinkedIn, if I'm not mistaken, but I do recognize the name. So again, thank you for all the super stickers. See, donations. Appreciate it. Let's see. Mr. Destroyer retiring July 31st, 2020. Man, that's right around the corner. I'm extremely nervous. Hey, you'll be all right, man. If you made it 20 plus years in the military, you're on the home stretch. You're good. Ms. Richardson, hey, I gave you a shout out at the beginning of this video. You gave a super sticker in one of our previous live streams, so I just wanted to thank you. So when you go back to the beginning of this, you'll see the shout out. I'm going to file a complaint. Also, I requested claims filed 5 times since November and follow up each time with no success. Each case closed, stating letter sent. Thanks to Wayne. Hey, stay on them. Don't give up. Okay. And one more, guys. I want to keep to 1 hour. I'm 10 minutes over. VA doctors says have cervical radiculopathy. Do I need to put in a claim for neck pain versus? Okay. First, I just did a video, 5 ways of service connection. I even talk about it in the training. Where does it fall under the 5 ways of service connection? If you go to the VMAC and they diagnose you, that doesn't mean automatically you can get service connect for that. It still has to fall under the 5 ways of service connection. Okay. The VAMC diagnosed me with sleep apnea. It didn't fall under the 5 ways of service connection. Guess what? When I claimed it initially back in 2009, they denied it. I knew I was going to get denied because I was educated a little bit later. Okay. So if that's the case, you got to ask yourself, the radiculopathy, can it be secondary to the neck? Yes, that's the median nerve. The diagnostic code is in the neurological section. 80-21 or 80-20. I think that could be the sciatic nerve. I'm not sure, but it's the median nerve. So if you go to the neurological body system in the rating schedule and just keep scrolling down or do a search, and when it comes up in a Word document, hit Control F, put median nerve, and that's the diagnostic code for radiculopathy. But is it a common complication of the neck cervical? Yes. Okay. One last question, guys. Benny, I think this is Benny's first time. Is there a good resource to obtain a Nexus letter for Gulf War presumptive illness for cardiovascular disease? My doctor diagnosed, but is unfamiliar with Nexus letter format. Benny, you're going to need a DBQ too. Okay. We give an educational class on Nexus statement, what goes into them. There's no template or default template. I created my own. In that training, I share my template, but more so, I share all the information that needs to go in it. Okay. It's very simple. The majority of it is in a DBQ. Second, we share what a medical opinion looks like for direct service connection. We share what a medical opinion looks like for secondary, along with a rationale. A lot of veterans don't know what a rationale is. They say, I got an IMO, whatever that is. Where's the rationale? What's that? Okay. So those classes that we give, we educate you on that. Then you go out there and you're able to maximize your benefits. So if your doctor says they don't know of one, you know the format. I created my own and I showed my doctor and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Okay. And they filled it out. And I made sure together, we made sure everything was, buttoned up before I submitted it to the VA. And then some Nexus statements I use on my appeal, which is known as the high level review now, and I end up winning. Okay. So you definitely, you want to do that. All right. Mr. Destroyer, yep, you're certainly welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, everyone. I'm going to start keeping these, like I said, to just 1 hour. If we get more people, we normally average anywhere between 60, 70 subscribers. We got the notification out late, but we're going to start advertising it. But if we can get up into the 100, 150, we'll do more of these, maybe 30 minutes each, a week or every other week or something, a little bit more often, but we need more subscribers. So again, our live event, August 21st, 2021, next month, noon, 9 a.m. to noon, Tampa, Florida. So if you are in the area, be on the lookout for our posting on our website. I'll be talking about it more in my YouTube videos. So definitely be on the lookout. Again, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button, go over to our website. You can see our Facebook link, join our veterans group, business page. It has a lot of information there as well. Check out our website. There's a lot of information there. A lot of people ask me questions and you can find some stuff there, but you will see a facelift on our website. I'm going to add some of our team members, our bios. We got a marketing, social media expert on board, and they're going to be doing some things with our social media. So you definitely want to be on the lookout for that. So again, thank you guys for logging in tonight. I think I was able to get through the majority of the questions. If I didn't, going to have to catch you on the next one. Thanks for all your assistance, sir. Hey, not a problem. And Chad Hawkins, let's give him a round of applause. Chad, I guess you're going lunch at the Kentucky Fried Chicken there, right off 75 in Ruskin, right? I'm just kidding. But again, go to our website. I'd like to see you at the live event. Again, if you have an organization in another city and you like for us to do this training, go to our website, click on the link training, and we can get you set up from there. Okay. Again, Ms. Breckerez, thank you for chiming in. No, he says no. Okay. So, all right. Hey, be on the lookout for the next video. That'll be try to get it posted next week, Wednesday or Thursday. Thank you guys again. Thank you for your service. And I hope we're going into the weekend. So make sure you be safe and have fun. Take care.